What's going on, bodybuilders, fitness enthusiasts, sport people, and overall people who are dedicated and wanna be healthy? Today, me and my girlfriend, I think you already know that cute face here on my vlogs, we are going to yet again show you another healthy and magnificent recipe, but this time it's not going to be for French macarons, which by the way the video really performed well, 1.6k in views. This is pretty good for my channel, of course, for now. But today we're going to show you yet another recipe which is just as delicious, but I think a little bit more impressive because it looks better to the eye, and more precisely it's going to be a chocolate souffle. Souffle, I don't know how it's pronounced, but it's keto, it's low in carbs, and therefore it has just about 0 grams in sugar, which I bet is amazing for you just as it is for both of us here. Yet again, our guide for today is going to be my girlfriend Victoria, and I bet that she's going to be the perfect guide for this because she is a magnificent cook and she's going to prove this yet again today. So I'm going to leave everything to her right now.
Hi everyone, the ingredients we're gonna need today are 80 grams of butter, 100 grams of chocolate, 60 grams of prosciutto, 3 eggs, 60 grams of rice flour, and some vanilla. Those were the ingredients, and the utensils you're gonna need are a spatula, a small pot, a bowl, a scale, another bowl, and a whisker, but I'm gonna use one that is supposed to be attached to a hand mixer. You're also gonna need some silicone forms for cupcakes like those ones, or you can use a glass. Of course, it has to be resistant to high temperatures like this one. This is made for tea, and that's all you're gonna need. We're gonna start with our small pot, and we're gonna fill it up with just a little bit of water because it's important that it doesn't touch the bowl in which we're gonna melt the butter and the chocolate. Now I'm going to measure 80 grams of butter and 100 grams of chocolate and put them in this bowl so we can put it on the boiling water. I like to chop my butter like this because it melts faster, but you can do whatever you want. This chocolate is without added sugar in it, it's with stevia, and a pack like this one is 70 grams, so I'm gonna add 1.5. And once again, you can chop your chocolate into smaller pieces if you want. And now I'm gonna use 3 more blocks of the second chocolate in order to have 100 grams of chocolate in total. Now I'm going to put the bowl in the boiling water, and as I told you, it's important that the bowl doesn't touch the water, so you can do a test and see if the bowl is wet. It's not, so it's good like this. And now we're just gonna wait for the chocolate and the butter to melt, and in the meantime we can start with the other things we need to do. Now I'm going to get our other bowl, and I'm going to measure out 60 grams of prosciutto. If you want it sweeter, you can put some more. Up to 80 grams I think is fine, but we are gonna put a little bit less because we like it that way. As you can see, we need to mix our butter and chocolate a little bit now because it's melting. By the way guys, now that the butter and the chocolate have melted, it's a good time to preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius. And now that we have our bowl filled with 60 grams of prosciutto, we're gonna need our 3 eggs and we're gonna put them into the prosciutto. And now it's very important that you start whisking the eggs immediately. Now that the chocolate has melted, we can put our vanilla in it. You can put as much as you want, but I like it a lot, so I'm gonna put 2 of those in there. And now we have our eggs mixed with the prosciutto. We are gonna put just a little spoon of the chocolate melted with the butter. It's very important that you start off with just a little spoon of that chocolate, because otherwise if you put the whole mixture at once, the eggs are gonna cook. And now we're gonna start whisking immediately. Now it's safe to add the rest of the chocolate. And now we are going to whisk them together once again. As you can see, this is how it's supposed to look like. Now I'm going to sift 60 grams of my rice flour. If you want to, you can skip the sifting part, but I think that it's best to sift your flour for every dessert you make. These are 60 grams of rice flour, and now we're gonna start sifting. Usually when I make this recipe, I put the mixture into the glasses and we just eat straight out of the glasses. But if you want it looking more classy, kind of, you can use those silicone forms for cupcakes, as I told you. But it's better if you put a little bit of butter on them so that you can get the souffle out of the forms. I don't know how much of those we're gonna need, but I'm going to butter around 10 of them. I think that will be enough. Now I'm gonna use my spatula once again to pour the mixture, and I'm going to use my glass first. You can fill about half of that cup, would be perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
Try not to break it.
As I told you, I filled about half of that cup, and this is gonna bake for about 7 to 8 minutes. So the silicone forms are gonna bake for probably around 4, 5 or 6 minutes. I don't know, I'm not entirely sure, but I think 5 minutes would be good so that it's melted on the inside. As you saw, we only filled up 9 of them, so 1 was extra. And now you can use a spoon or maybe the spatula in order to spread out the batter evenly. Finally, it's time to put them in the oven. Now it's important that you look at them throughout the whole process of baking. You can track your time. Maybe I think 5 minutes would be good. Once you see that the surface starts to crack up, that's the time when you need to get them out of the oven as soon as possible.
And now we wait.
And now we wait.
It's been 10 minutes now, and I know that I said 7 or 8 minutes would be good for the glass, but it really depends on how much time you spent on preheating the oven. So I think it's okay now, and it's been 10 minutes. It looks like a cupcake on top, and it's important that we get it out now because otherwise it won't be melted in the center. Now I'm gonna try to get maybe 3 of them out of the forms, and I'm gonna put them on a plate like this.
Alright guys, it's time for my favorite part, and I believe yours too. Of course the souffle is melted on the inside, but I think we left it in the oven for quite too long, did we?
Yes, I think maybe 3 minutes would be fine, but I think this one would be melted.
This one's hot. It does look melted on the inside, and I bet it will be, but we just wanted to present it a little bit better to you, and this is why we focused on these, the silicone ones. So yeah, now we're going to try them. Okay, so yeah, we have left them in the oven for quite too long. It doesn't melt, you don't see the melted part. It's not melted, but who cares about this?
Or the other way you could use the other way you could improve this is by putting more batter into one form and baking it for 5 minutes once again.
Okay, so we're going to try and do a close shot. Oh yeah, look at that. It is liquidy, it's melted, and look at, hey, this is the souffle you usually get out of that recipe if you don't leave the silicone cups in the oven for way too long, but they're awesome too. Don't forget this, but this just looks better. Alright guys, yet another beautiful recipe by my beautiful girlfriend, and yeah, I'm really happy with that recipe. I believe that you will be just as happy as I am when you try it out. And of course, if you get that melted look, you'll be even more satisfied from that recipe. But yeah guys, this is it for today. This was it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Of course, if you did, smash the like button, subscribe for my channel for more, turn on the little bell. Do you have something to say? She doesn't have anything to say. So guys, remember, stay healthy, stay positive, learn, enjoy, grow, and I'll see you in the next one.